In a ballsy, stunning, and frankly brilliant move, Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani outplayed the very man who has repeatedly attacked and threatened him, challenging Donald Trump to sit down with Mamdani at the White House, and Trump accepted. And that high-stakes meeting is set to take place tomorrow. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, folks, much has been said of Zohran Mamdani. I think he's a brilliant communicator. I think he's incredibly persuasive. He ran an incredible campaign and took a well-earned victory. This is a guy who began his campaign literally in last place, and now he's going to become the mayor of New York City, the mayor of the biggest and most important city in this country. And it's made him a high-profile target of the Republican Party, specifically Donald Trump. And yet Trump has been outplayed by a very ballsy move by Mamdani. So take a look here. Trump says, Communist Mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, has asked for a meeting. We have agreed that this meeting will take place at the Oval Office on Friday, November 21st. Further details to follow. When you are threatened by the most powerful man in the world, no matter how stupid or deranged, and you say, actually, I'll come to you. I'll sit down at the seat of your power, and I'll have a conversation with you. I am so unafraid. Like, look at the shit-eating grin on this guy's. Like, this is just, he knows what he's doing. Very, very clever. But let's hear it from his own words. Why is he doing this? Is this real? Why is he doing this? Let's hear the motivation. These are clips from Mayor-elect Mamdani's sit-down interview with Chris Hayes on MSNBC.
Zohran Mamdani, nice to have you here, Mr. Mayor-elect.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Is the White House meeting real? Who knows what's real these days, but do you understand it as a real thing?
We did reach out to the White House, and my team reached out because of a commitment that I made to New Yorkers, that I would be willing to meet with anyone and everyone so long as it was to the benefit of the 8.5 million people who call the city home and their struggle to afford the most expensive city in the United States of America.
Mic drop. That is brilliant as hell. Mamdani, of course, has been an outspoken critic of Donald Trump throughout the campaign, as he should, while also trying to walk a fine line, because he recognizes, obviously, the sitting president is the most powerful person on earth, and Donald Trump is the most vindictive and, cruel person on earth as well, and that's a dangerous combination. And so Mamdani understands that Trump can indeed have an enormous influence, for better or worse, on Mamdani's governance, on his administration in New York City. And Trump has repeatedly threatened to leverage the powers of the White House against Mamdani simply for kicking Andrew Cuomo's ass in the Democratic primary and then in the general election, to punish him for winning a free and fair election. As you know, Donald Trump loathes free and fair elections. He tries to steal elections. He tried to do it to Joe Biden, and in a roundabout way, he tried to do it again with Mayor-elect Mamdani by telling people publicly, if Mamdani wins, the federal government, we're not going to give any funding to New York City. What is that if not election interference? Threatening the 8.5 million people of New York City. You can't vote however you want. If you want to vote for this guy, you can't do it because we will use the levers of power to hurt you. And so Mamdani brilliantly walked a tightrope, and we're going to hear more from him in just a second. He's simultaneously criticized Trump while also saying, as much as I dislike Donald Trump for perfectly legitimate reasons, because he's objectively terrible, I recognize he's also the president, and I am willing to work with him in good faith on things that are designed specifically to benefit New Yorkers. That is a tough tightrope to walk. And already out the guy hasn't even been inaugurated yet. And he's already leading by example and putting his money where his mouth is, putting Trump on the defensive.
Do you think a lot of people go into meetings with Donald Trump, I think, thinking they're going to be the one to get over on him? And I sometimes often think, I've watched this now for 10 years, they screw up because they think they underestimate him. Like, what is your goal for a meeting with Donald Trump? What do you want to come out of a meeting with Donald Trump?
I want to just speak plainly to the president about what it means to actually stand up for New Yorkers and the way in which New Yorkers are struggling to afford this city. And frankly, cost of living is something that I heard time and time again from New Yorkers about why they voted for Donald Trump. And this is something that is only continued in the last few months of this year, where we're hearing about childcare concerns, rent concerns, Con Ed concerns, even just getting on the bus, just $2.90. And just to make it clear to the president that this is what we're talking about, these are the stakes for New Yorkers and their ability to keep calling this city their home.
So smart. I mean, it gives me chills, the strategy here, because remember, Trump is savvy enough to recognize that Mamdani Abigail Spanberger in Virginia, the governor-elect of Virginia, and Mikey Sherrill, the governor-elect of New Jersey, all three Democrats who just curb-stomped the Republican challengers. Trump even recognized that the through line of their campaigns was a relentless message and focus on affordability. Mamdani most of all. Mamdani pioneered this. I mean, just laser focus. He did and I probably should have pulled this clip up. He was on an MSNBC show, and somebody's like, let's play a game. I'm going to ask you a bunch of random questions, and like in 5 seconds, you've got to, make a message about, you got to tie it to affordability. I'll see if I can find that while I'm playing this next clip, because it's brilliant. And he was able to just pop it off one right after another. Mamdani has a unique gift for this. Trump recognized that. Remember, we covered it. Trump was panicking publicly and privately about the midterm elections. And so he's like, I need to reclaim affordability. I need to talk about affordability. And so he talks affordability all the time. I'm the one who's handling affordability. So look at what Mamdani is doing. Mamdani is simultaneously calling his bluff while also working aggressively to keep his grip and the Democratic Party's grip on the message of affordability. Mamdani is effectively saying, I'm not going to let you run roughshod and try to reframe this in a way which benefits you. Democrats would be foolish to just assume that the momentum will carry into next year in our favor. We have to still aggressively make the case that Republicans are opponents of affordability and Democrats are supporters of affordability. So I'm going to go to you. I'm not going to let you speak in an echo chamber. I'm going to be there as the spokesperson of affordability sitting in opposition of you. So I'm going to keep my grip on the affordability message. I'm going to prevent you from grabbing it. But at the same time, I will also call your bluff. Hey, you really care about affordability? You really care about delivering results for the American people, Donald Trump? Well, here's an opportunity to do just that. It's brilliant. It's a win-win scenario. Mamdani keeps Trump from reframing the message in a vacuum about affordability in a way which works to the detriment of the Democrats and in favor of Trump heading into the midterms. And he also gets to call Trump's bluff in real time and see, will Trump be able to act in a responsible way, which, of course, most likely not. So I want to play a clip, and I'll find you the other clip of, again, Mamdani's laser focus on affordability, see if I can find that. But here is another segment of his interview with Chris Hayes.
I was speaking to a number of New Yorkers the other night. A young woman told me in tears about how ICE has tried to detain her aunt on multiple occasions, coming to their door, coming to school drop-off, just leaving her aunt with a feeling like she couldn't even leave their home. I heard from an older Bangladeshi woman who told me that she canvassed for me over the course of this campaign in fear of whether she would be picked up in the course of knocking on doors because she was afraid to even go to the grocery store. And I think what we've seen under this current administration here in New York City is an unwillingness to stand up for the laws we already have here. We have sanctuary city policies, which used to be defended by Democrats and Republicans alike. These are policies that do not allow ICE admission into schools, into hospitals, into any city property or properties of city contractors unless they can show a judicial warrant signed by a judge. And what we know is time and time again, the videos we're watching, they're not videos of warrants being shown. They're videos of brutal intimidation. And it is time to have a mayor of the city who recognizes this risk is a present day one and will stand up for each and every one of the 3 million immigrants who call the city home. I'm one of them. And an understanding that an attack on any New Yorker is an attack on the entirety of the city.
So again, this is where he shows how he's walking his tightrope, because he's speaking compassionately and empathetically about ICE overreach. What is he doing? He's criticizing the Trump administration in real time, while also talking about the meeting that he's planning to have with the head of the Trump administration tomorrow. This is a man, at least so far, and again, he's not even been inaugurated yet, who seems relentlessly focused. God damn it, I have to nail this at the same time. I have to do what seems almost counterintuitive or mutually exclusive. I have to simultaneously express a good faith willingness to work with the sitting president, even though I think he's an authoritarian, and at the same time, not sugarcoat the moral failures and the authoritarian overreach of the Trump administration, and be prepared to, on the drop of a hat, the drop of a dime, be able to bounce back and forth. So here he is, able to articulate a beautiful message of, again, compassion and empathy while condemning the authoritarian practices of Trump's ICE. Most politicians don't have the messaging skill to do this, and Mamdani's able to do it in real time during this interview. One last clip.
Incredible.
Right?
You got there.
Nice work. Not bad.
Lightning round is in a word or a sentence, but it's your mic. If you go longer, you go longer.
Okay,
You're a
here we
candidate.
go.
In a word or a sentence, I am a democratic socialist because
I believe in the dignity of all people.
I am the Democratic nominee for New York because
I beat Andrew Cuomo by 13 points.
a reason conservatives are welcome in your Democratic Party is
They also have to pay rent.
Something Democrats are right about.
That we have to take on authoritarian administration in Washington, D.C.
Something Democrats have gotten wrong.
We need to bring back working people as the focus of our party.
All right, New York, shouldn't be hard for you. My bodega order is
Egg and cheese on a roll with jalapenos.
bagels or bialys.
Bagels.
Sure.
Come on. Why would you?
I mean,
Come on, good.
my favorite subway line is
For nostalgia, the 9 train.
okay. And right now,
The N train.
okay.
Hashtag never. R train, hashtag rarely.
You can call yourself a real New Yorker when
You know what a bodega is.
your favorite cannabis shop. Just ask.
I would have to frequent them more often to have a favorite.
Okay, there we go. And a couple big picture ones.
Okay.
The biggest challenge facing America is,
A belief that politics could be more than this.
and facing New York,
That we could actually have a city that New Yorkers could afford.
the biggest challenge facing the Republican Party,
That their agenda is one that is deeply unpopular with Americans.
and the Democratic Party.
That we are missing an affirmative message in a moment when New Yorkers are crying out for it.
Final two. If I lose, it's because.
I didn't come on this show earlier.
If I win, it's because.
I came here with a few days left before Election Day.
Zohran Mamdani, you are very busy right now. Thank you.
So that's what I mean. This is a guy who, yes, answered the question substantively and quickly and tried every single time to tie them to the message of affordability. So this is what Donald Trump is up against. One of the best communicators, if not the best communicator in the Democratic Party, up against, yes, the most powerful Republican, but also somebody who can't string a sentence together. So I am looking forward to tomorrow's high-stakes meeting. It's brilliant. It's ballsy. It's stunning. It is textbook Zohran Mamdani. I am very impressed. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.